You have to go to the bathroom, like right now, but you're trapped inside what is basically a building made of fabric. We're talking layers upon layers of cloth, a steel cage around your hips, and a corset squeezing you so tight you can barely breathe. How in the world do you handle one of life's most basic, urgent needs? Well, you're about to find out.
Seriously, look at this. This is the central question, right? It's one of those historical mysteries you never think to ask, but once you do, you have to know the answer. How did women wearing these walking sculptures actually manage? Well, the solutions they came up with are way more clever and, frankly, shocking than you could possibly imagine.
Yeah, you heard that right. For a Victorian woman, just going to the bathroom was a full-contact sport. It took strategy, it took engineering, and it took a whole lot of stealth to do something that we literally don't even think about today.
So first, let's just wrap our heads around the sheer scale of the problem. We're not talking about just a dress. We're talking about personal architecture, a structure that a woman had to live in and operate every single day.
Getting dressed was like suiting up for battle. It all started with a simple linen shift. On top of that came the corset, which was laced so tightly it could actually reshape your ribs over time. Then you'd pile on as many as 7 petticoats. But the real game changer, the main event, was the crinoline.
And the crinoline, wow. This thing was a literal cage made of steel hoops that could be up to 6 feet wide. Let that sink in. 6 feet. Just walking through a door was a complex puzzle. Sitting down was a major event. They even had to design special furniture just so these women could sit at all.
So, confronted with this mountain of fabric and steel, what was the solution? Well, the unexpected hero of our story is something you've probably heard of, but never appreciated for the work of genius it truly was: the chamber pot.
Now, these were not just some random bowls. Oh no, they were precision-engineered tools. The oval shape and curved inside, that was so a woman could slide it perfectly between all those layers of fabric. They had tight lids for, obvious reasons. And in the fanciest houses, they were hidden away in beautiful furniture, ready to be whisked away by servants, like a secret agent.
And get this, at a big party or a ball, it was a total team effort. You'd have these retiring rooms staffed with maids who were basically a Formula One pit crew. They'd swoop in, help manage the 20 pounds of dress, position the pot, and handle the cleanup, all so discreetly that no one in the ballroom would have a clue.
Okay, but this is where the story gets really, really weird. Because to solve this one massive problem, Victorian women just skipped something that we consider absolutely essential today, and it says so much about how different their ideas of modesty were. I mean, it's the natural next question, isn't it? With all that going on, what on earth were they wearing for underwear? You'd think there'd have to be something elaborate under there. Well, the real answer is going to blow your mind. For a huge chunk of the Victorian era, the answer was nothing. Absolutely nothing at all. With all those skirts and petticoats, they just didn't see the need for traditional underwear. It's a pretty stunning fact that just changes how you see all those historical paintings, right?
Of course, not wearing underwear created a brand new and very public problem. A big gust of wind could catch that giant crinoline skirt and just flip the whole thing up. We're talking a full-on umbrella in the wind moment, and apparently it happened all the time. Super embarrassing. So, what was the solution? Pure genius. Enter split crotch drawers. Imagine 2 separate pant legs, totally open in the middle and just connected at the waistband. This brilliant invention gave you modesty if the wind blew, but, crucially, it still let you use a chamber pot without having to take a single thing off. Problem solved. And believe it or not, the bathroom was just the beginning of the logistical nightmare. Managing day-to-day personal hygiene in the Victorian era was a constant battle that went way beyond just this one room. Let's just compare for a second. We have toilet paper. They had old newspapers, corn cobs, or if you were lucky, a washable piece of linen. We have tampons and pads. They had homemade cloth pads, sometimes stuffed with moss or even sheep's wool. And a washing machine? Nope. All the major laundry was done maybe twice a year on these massive, great wash days. And managing a period, that was a completely silent, solitary struggle. Women used these homemade belts called a tea bandage to hold whatever absorbent stuff they could find. On heavy days, they might have to change these things up to 20 times, all while trapped in those clothes. And you couldn't talk about it, ever.
So what do we take away from all this? I mean, it's easy to look back and just see how hard everything was.
But what you're really seeing is a masterclass in how massive inconvenience forces people to be incredibly innovative.
These women weren't just helpless victims of their fashion choices. No way. They were pioneers. They were problem solvers. They created entire systems and social rules to navigate these insane daily challenges. They were absolute masters of making it work.
And all of their struggles had a huge impact. The sheer impracticality of it all helped push society towards more sensible clothing, better sanitation, and ultimately the kinds of personal freedoms for women that we all just take for granted today.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? Maybe our biggest breakthroughs don't come from comfort and ease. Maybe true ingenuity is only ever born when we're forced to solve the most inconvenient problems imaginable. The Victorian woman's story definitely makes a strong case for it.